talk, just to
We just want to talk
introduce yourselves and tell how you met, one of those things.
Hey, I'm Bill. Who are you?
Hi, I'm Madeline. Who are you? Who are you really? Hi.
Oh, talk now. I'm Bill Brock.
I'm Madeline Brock, and we've been here at Shepherd for 27 years.
Yeah, a long time. Well, she probably knows the exact date.
Oh, am I going first?
You
Okay.
go first.
All right, so I was born and raised in the Presbyterian Church in Irving, Texas, and my first real memory of finding out about God was learning how to use my Bible in the 3rd grade, where we would have the race to find the book of the Bible. And then I remember after that they would say, okay, open your Bible at random and read what the first thing was that came to you. And so that was probably the beginning of my journey with God.
My journey was probably racing away from church. No. It was, I was raised in the church, and I was in the kids' choir, and that was the last time anybody ever asked me to sing. And that was a long time ago.
Go ahead.
Me? Okay. Well, it's been great because I think moving through life, especially as you get older, that's not me. And you start to realize that there's got to be more to life than just eating and sleeping and entertaining yourself and all of that. What makes life for me most valuable is the relationships we have with people, and going further with that, the relationship with that entity that we call God. I mean, unfathomable, mysterious, just, what could be more interesting than a relationship like that?
What was the question?
Where are you now in that?
Where am I now? Well, what Bill said, being in relationship is one of the best things to do when you're walking the path to find your way to God. And, I think that one of the most important things of being where we are right now is that we can really sit and listen to other people, and they will listen to us. And that part of the journey with God, it's so special, and it's so necessary, especially considering what we've been through in the last year and a half, or however long it's been. Well, that's comes from our, kind of I don't want to say an edict, but a suggestion from Jesus himself, that we love God and love our neighbor as ourselves. And I've always found it very easy to love God, and it's always more of a challenge to love everybody else. But having that in front of us right now has been a very challenging and yet mindful exercise, because right now, there's a lot of people who may not agree with what I think or what our church thinks or whatever, but just the mindfulness that they are part of God too, really helps in loving God and loving everybody.
Yeah, I'd have to say that it's a real challenge, because people say things anymore on the web or whatever that just maybe appall you. But looking at that instruction that Jesus gives us, to me, is a wonderful challenge. I mean, trying to do that, I can feel myself absorbing more difficulty and growing, from trying to get past my initial feelings. And so I think it's great. I'm glad that we have that as a motto for our church, because not a lot of churches, I may focus on something else, but that to me is the key to what it is to be a Christian. Madeline comes here to the church to sing on Sunday mornings, and I'm left alone at the house. And I don't have to watch the service, and yet what I find is I ask myself, well, someday we're not going to be together. Whether I go first or she goes first, it doesn't matter.
Where are we going?
Yeah,
Okay.
where are we going? And so giving alone and facing that, I realize that this is great. I mean, I'm there by myself at home, and it's just me and God. And so that is an opportunity for me to take it for myself, to go and listen and think and feel the words and participate in that relationship with a church. I think it's really it's cool. It saddens me to think that people are moving away from that. I don't think they realize what they're giving up.
Yeah, and from my standpoint, I do come here and sing a lot, and I find that singing to an empty sanctuary and trying to think about everybody who's online has been a bit of a challenge. But just today we had the confirmants in here, and we had 15 or 20 people in the congregation, and it was so different and so wonderful. And so when we are together, it's a different thing. It's a different thing. And I think, Leon and Britta both have been talking about the we is greater than me. And I saw that this morning in worship when we were together. And it was fabulous. And so for us, this is, we have our family that we have at home, but this is a different kind of family. And it takes us deeper in our relationship with those people and with God. And that's awesome. It's not always clean-cut flowers in a field with birds singing. Sometimes it gets messy, but I have never grown as much as a person as I have being in this church and walking through the hard parts. We came, and the pastor that had been here for many years left. And then we had an interim, and then we had another pastor for 16 years, and that pastor left. And then we had another interim. And so it's this cycle that goes along. But we learned long ago that it's not the pastor, and it's not just worship, and it's not just any one specific thing, but it's the family that comes around you when you're hurting, when you're challenged, when you got stuff going on in your life that you would rather not have to have, but knowing that you're not alone and knowing that those people really, really care about you. Whether it's the flowers in the field or it's messy, they are there for you. And that is not to be missed.
Yeah, I think it's great to have classes with a bunch of the guys. I mean, in those classes we talk about the kind of stuff that's going on in our life and how it relates to whatever passages we're studying in the Bible. And I'm always happily amazed at some of the other ideas that come out. I mean, stuff that I never would have considered. And that's a growth experience. That's where, you really get deeper and are allowed to move forward in your faith. So for me, the church is, in that regard, is really great.